Go.
Ready? Hello, my name is Paul, and today I'll be making a vegan gravy and mashed potatoes just for the Thanksgiving season. I already have over here cooked the potatoes in 2-inch cubes, and I have them tender ahead of time because they take around 20 minutes to cook. To start, I'll be starting with the gravy, and I have a pan over here, and I'm just going to turn on the induction burner. And instead of using oil, I'll be using water to saute today so that we don't use excess amount of oil that boosts up the calories. And in the mushrooms go. And then you just simply add a little bit of water with it so that it cooks and sautés. And in with the mushrooms, I'll be adding some shallots as well to add the extra flavor to the gravy. Shallots, and as that cooks, we have the already cooked potatoes that I have tendered. I'll drain out the water from the potatoes, and then I'll be adding it straight into the food processor over here. And with potatoes, I'm going to be adding some roasted garlic that I roasted ahead of time. And then a cup of soy milk that I heated up so that it would cool down the potatoes. But instead of adding the entire thing all at once, I'm going to be adding just a little bit. And then get the food processor going. If you like your mashed potatoes to be really not chunky, so smooth, you would normally go on high and keep it going. But in my case, I like my mashed potatoes to be a little chunkier, so I'm just going to be pulsing a couple times. And as you're pulsing, you also want to keep mixing in the potatoes because the bottom will become a lot creamier and silkier. So you got to push in the potatoes into the bottom of the food processor so that the entire result becomes consistent. So I'll be adding a little bit more of the soy milk. And then I continue to pulse. And then finally I'll finish off the soy milk. Pulse once more. And your mashed potatoes are ready. And I'll be going to the gravy. I'll just have this sitting right here. And the mushrooms are getting cooked nicely. You want to see a little bit of brown on the inside of the pan. And once that brown sets in and the pan is really hot, we'll be adding some stock in to the gravy. And in with the stock. Let that cook out a little bit. And we'll be adding in our seasoning first. So our coconut aminos instead of soy sauce for the less sodium. And nutritional yeast and onion powder for extra flavor. And then finally, we'll be adding some whole wheat flour into the mixture to thicken up the gravy. Okay. And then just whisk it all together. It might seem like a lot of liquid at first, but you just gotta let it sit and then just cook out and evaporate. Lid to that so that it boils a little faster. And another pro tip is using a little bit of Dijon mustard, and the mustard will add a little bit of creaminess and tanginess to the gravy as well. So according to the recipe, I will be using half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. This is a 4th teaspoon measurement, so I'll be using 2 of these. And then you make sure to whisk in that as well. As that is going, we'll be getting ready to plate our mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are going inside the bowl. Remember, we put some roasted garlic in there too, so it's going to be nice and flavorful. And for the gravy, almost ready. So this is what the gravy is going to be looking like. A little on the waterier side, but if you would like your gravy to be a little thicker, you can also boil it out a little bit longer. So we'll just pour that gravy into the mashed potatoes. Make sure you get those mushrooms in there too. And to finish everything off, you'll be adding a little bit of thyme and parsley on top. And on the recipe I called for sage, basil, but honestly any kind of green looks good. And then there you have it, some mashed potatoes with gravy.